Since I've been publishing on Medium for so long, everything seems obvious to me. I forget that Medium as a platform is still brand new to thousands of people and that you are probably curious about how to be successful on the platform. You want to learn tips about publishing on Medium, and you want to get advice from someone who has actually walked the walk. And that's one thing that I like to highlight in my videos. Oftentimes when it comes to the content I create about blogging, the content I create about Medium, publishing on Medium, how to write a viral Medium article, these are just things that I have developed an intuitive sense for because I have drilled over and over and over again and put in the blood, sweat, and tears it takes to be successful on Medium. So if you want to be successful with publishing on Medium, listen to me, not because I'm perfect, not because I'm the all-knowing blogging guru, but because I've been there, done that, and I know what it takes. So in today's video, if you are someone who is either just getting started on Medium, hasn't posted on Medium, or is even intermediate and looking to get more traction, here are some of my favorite tips to give you about publishing on Medium. But before we get to that, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that little notification bell so you can get brand new videos the moment they come out. This is very important. I'd love for you to follow the channel so that more people who would be interested in blogging can find it, and the algorithm will be happy. The channel is growing, and as the channel grows, I get more motivated to put content out more frequently. So keep that motivation train going. If you want more videos from me, engage with me. Hit that notification bell right now. Okay, thing number one you need to know about publishing on Medium. On average, even for the really, really good writers who come to the platform and already have writing skills and take the time to grow, it's going to take you roughly about a year of really persistent effort before you should judge your results on the platform at all. The shortest time frame I've seen someone blow all the way up, really the most meteoric overnight success I've ever seen on the platform, is my colleague Shannon Ashley. I think she went from about $0 a month to 10 grand a month in 8 to 10 months, something like that. It was phenomenal. But she's a freakishly talented writer who just got on the platform and everyone fell in love with Shannon Ashley. You might not necessarily be in that same position, but I can tell you, I know that many writers who may not have $10,000 months or anything like that, but the ones who have been persistent and diligent usually find some traction right around about a year. I talked about my colleague Matt Lillywhite, who had his first, or I don't even remember what his first one, but he had a $6,500 month last month, and that was about a year into the platform. My buddy Sean Kernan makes a full-time living and a handsome one on Medium about a year on the platform. Another woman that I mentioned, Megan Holstein, she had her $8,000 month about a year after being on the platform. A lot of people I know are having success on the platform, and it takes roughly usually about a year for you to start seeing significant amounts in your bank account. And I know that a lot of aspiring writers, it's frustrating when you write an article and you're only making 10 cents for the article, or you're only making $12 for the whole month, you're only making $20 for the whole month. I promise you, I can't guarantee you specific outcomes, but if you dedicate yourself and you do some of the things that I talk about, writing with enough level of volume, so usually that's 3 to 4 posts a week, using some of the tips and persuasive elements of blogging, I'll link to a video that goes through some of those things, put those elements in there, make sure you're putting yourself in the right areas, give yourself time, break that wall. There is a wall and a threshold for new writers that you need to get through before you start to see that explosive growth. But I promise you, if you put your head down for a year, you can see results. In my premium flagship course, I designed it in a way to help you and have something to revisit over and over and over again. I have several techniques. I walk through the ins and outs of the platform, but even something as advanced as my online course isn't going to help you make 10 grand a month right after you take it. It might not even help you make 5 grand a month right after you take it, but if you give yourself time, you can see results. And I usually see things happen in about a year. You know, it could happen shorter, it could take longer. For me, it took me 19 months on the partner program to go from 0 to full-time living. So that was even a level above traction, but it still took me a long time. And that's just the way that writing careers work in general. You guys need to remove your sense of entitlement when it comes to what you should be earning on Medium. You need to remove your sense of entitlement in terms of what kind of audience you build online, period. Blogging and getting good at it, it takes time. So if you dedicate yourself to a year and you do that volume, you use some of the tips I mentioned, you get your work into the right areas, right publications, picking the right topics so that you can get noticed by curators and editors, I promise you, you will see good things happening in about a year. The next thing you need to know about Medium is that Medium judges the quality of your writing and helps use that to promote your work. So a lot of people, they miss the mark a little bit when they talk about things like curation jail. So this idea of curation jail is this phenomenon where if you post a certain amount of articles on Medium and they don't get curated, which means they get handpicked by the editors for promotion, you go into something called curation jail, which means that they don't look at your articles and don't reconsider them for curation, and you kind of fall into the abyss and fade into the background. Now, there's a little bit of truth to it. It's not something that you can that you're permanently stuck in. But yeah, if the curators pass over a lot of your work and see it's really low quality, then it might take a while before you get curated. But a lot of people have a misconception that it's a bias against new writers. The truth is, it's a bias against bad writers. So this thing you need to know about publishing on Medium is that Medium will judge your work by its quality. So yeah, there's a correlation. Usually if you're new, your writing isn't good. So it's not the fact that you're new that you're being punished and not getting curated and getting fans. It's that you're not that good at writing yet. So I've talked about this in other videos where I will have friends, colleagues who come onto the platform. They built writing chops elsewhere. They already had the skills, and lo and behold, their success, their curve is a lot steeper. They get results more quickly because they already have that quality writing. So Medium is not looking at your specific follower count to figure out whether or not your articles are worth being promoted. They're looking at your writing. You know, I have my own qualms with the curators about exactly what they choose, some of the way that they lean culturally. I have issues with the curators, right? But one thing I do wholeheartedly believe about the curators is that they are trying to find and promote quality work. So make sure that you're paying attention to the curation guidelines. Make sure that you are reading the articles from the curation team. They post them online. I'm not going to tell you where to go find them. You should have some self-starting initiative to go do that. Make sure that you're taking those steps, formatting your work properly, going through and making persuasive, compelling, interesting, entertaining, educational pieces of content, and avoiding what I always tell people to avoid, which is this kind of meandering journal entry telling random people about your life or telling random stories about your life. That's not going to work. That's not going to get you curated. But you can get on the platform and be successful regardless of your follower count, which leads me to my next point, this next thing I know about publishing on Medium. The last thing I'll probably leave you with is that you can still be successful on Medium right now, regardless of how competitive it is. And yes, I've admitted in other videos it's more competitive than it used to be, but you can still succeed right now. I keep an eye on Medium Facebook groups, and I see stories popping up every single day. Oh, brand new writer, I was here less than a year and I had a really big month. I've seen people still posting 4-digit months, 5-digit months, people who joined Medium in 2019, 2020. I've seen people who, I think I saw someone mention that they got up to their first $1,000 month in about 2 or 3 months, and they just put their head down, They had really good writing chops. Things worked well for them. They got curated. Some of their articles blew up. There's still viral potential for you on Medium. There's still potential for you to build a sizable audience. Yes, it is going to be harder for you to build an audience on Medium than it was for me. Yes, if I were to go back in time with my same level of writing skills, it would take me longer to build up the 75,000 plus followers that I have now. But what are you going to do about it? Life isn't fair. You didn't get in right in the beginning of the gold rush, but that doesn't mean that there's not gold left. There's plenty of gold left. As of the shooting of this video, September 2020, Ev Williams, founder of Medium, he just put out a PR letter, what's the word for it? A new press release kind of thing, where he was talking about the growth of Medium. He talked about how he was shifting things in the direction to help writers more, making sure that once you do build that following, you'll get exposed to more readers. He talked about the fact that they're putting much more of an emphasis on publications, which is why I always tell you guys, find publications for your work. I'll link to the video where I talk about how to get into Medium publications, but that's another thing that you need to pay attention to. And he's talking about how he's bullish on the platform. Medium's growth has continued to rise. It skyrocketed in readership during the pandemic. It's the one thing that I really like about Medium is that it's becoming a central hub for very, very big and popular voices. Now, I know some people are worried about that squeezing out indie writers, but for me, I see that as more eyeballs are looking at Medium as a central source for quality writing. And yes, if you're an indie writer, you gotta fight back against some of the journalists on the platform. You gotta fight back against some of the Medium publications. There is a little tug of war going on between the indie writers and the kind of more journalistic content and the Medium-owned publications and all that stuff. Yes, these things are going on. I'm aware of this. But you can still succeed on Medium today. I'm still bullish on the platform. I wouldn't be talking about and teaching Medium skills if I didn't think there was still plenty of runway left for you to be successful. So that's something you need to know, but you need to get your butt in the chair and start writing, guys. I look and I check your profiles. Some people who comment on my stuff, I search your names. I look for you. And 9 times out of 10, I don't see a lot of writing. I actually check. You guys need to get your butt in the chair and write. You need to check out the resources I have. You need to follow instructions and you can be successful on Medium. Speaking of directions, instructions, and materials, go into the description below. You're going to see 2 very helpful resources. One is a free 5-day course that walks you through some of the basic nuts and bolts on how to be successful on Medium. Just click the link, enter your email, and you'll get access to the first lesson right away. The next thing you'll see, for those of you who are just really ready to dive in, you want to shorten your learning curve as quickly as possible, then check out my premium flagship course that teaches you everything I know about Medium. I'm constantly updating it. We're doing group coaching calls where I'm sharing those resources, so I'm keeping up to the minute stats, statistics, and insights on how to be successful on the platform. So make sure to check that out if you're ready to go right away. There's other resources, things about starting a blog, which is important because you need a home base for your work, list building tools, other videos, other blog posts. There's just a ton of stuff. Just go check it out. Check that stuff out right now. There should also be some videos popping up in front of your face as we speak. Make sure to check those out, and I will see you on the next video.